You know what? This is so special. I'm just gonna record and I'll edit
Yes.
out later because
So
anything. Oh my God. You
you
don't know
look
how
exactly the same.
you look exactly the same too. I'm so happy. I think when we see each other, either in person or even like virtually, like right now, we get so excited. We're we're literally like siblings.
We are. But you were always my brother from another mother. It was just a fact. And I think the best time of my life with MTV was with you because we got to travel literally all across Asia and do the most fun things and eat the most fun food. We had no idea about cars whatsoever. Well, I absolutely did not. And we went to these Grand Prix and these motorbike dirt track races, and we got to see all the future in cars and everything. But the best part about our trips were as soon as they'd say it's a wrap, you and me would have this system. And it was, all right, we're going shopping. Art's going in this direction. I'm going in this direction. We'll meet back at this time to eat. And it was always just in sync.
Yeah, we
It was,
well, since the first day we met, our energies were aligned, both professionally and personally. Like on
yeah.
screen, we just matched. Off screen, for some crazy reason, we match. So there was like no question about our friendship, friendship or relationship whatsoever because it was like a jigsaw.
It was a
It's just
jigsaw.
like
And like even after the shoots, when we go back to our rooms, we chat for hours in the night before we go to bed. And then we'd meet up the next day and we'd shoot all over again. And it was just always so fun. And I also have to tell you this sweet story. So we have that photo with Pharrell Williams. Do you remember that?
oh yes.
So check this. Years and years later, um, there's a special day. It's actually around the corner. It's on the 7th of March this year because it goes by our calendar. And it's Holi. So if you don't know what Holi is, it's basically just all of us grown human beings throwing color at each other. Kids do it too, adults do it too. And it gets messy and mad, and it's water fights and color fights, more color now because we're trying to conserve water. Um, anyway, and so he came for this brand activity with Adidas for the Holi event. So his entourage was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. Grown adults just pegging color at each other. And I'm with Adidas, so my job was to like take him around and show him what Holi is with another really big Bollywood actor called Ranveer. And you won't believe I showed him our photograph. I said, I met you at the MTV VMAs in Japan this many years ago, and you're here today. And we had so much fun. And he was just taking in all of the Bollywood music and the beats and the colors and everything. His friends were having a great time. He got pegged by his friends in the eye like twice, and I had to keep taking it out. And you'll be very proud to know he follows me on Instagram now.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing.
I can just pretend we're friends. We go way back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a really long story. But okay, this has to be your opening for your interview. Are you ready for it?
Uh, uh, oh my
I don't
God.
want it to be shadowed. Can you see that? That's
I can see
us.
I can see that.
That's us. That was in a club in, I think, the Philippines, if I'm
Yeah,
not
that's the
wrong. But
Philippines. I have
yeah,
pic I have pictures of us on the racetrack, and back then I had like really big giant hair. So it's like I have I have I have pictures of us on the racetrack. Well, I have so many pictures of us to be honest. There's so many
yeah,
pictures of us like clubbing. There's some pictures at the
yeah,
MTV Japan Awards, and then there's like pictures
yeah.
of this big hair on the racetracks in Japan, and then we had like a
Yes,
Simo as well that the robot. Did we?
yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, we
We
did.
have a story about that. But I just have to tell everyone that's watching, this photo has been on my bedside ever since we took it. Because I have to tell you something about art. We don't talk every day. We haven't been in touch in years. But when we shot together, it was always just so comfortable and special. And he was like my soul brother. He really was. He really was. And he touched my heart, and he was so special to me that it didn't matter if I spoke to him or not. I just loved him all the time, and he was just my favorite person, and we had the best time. And so this has been on my bedside ever since we took it. No joke. No other photograph. So you.
I also have you on my board as well.
Yeah.
I think we're like a testament of how it's not supposed to be difficult or hard with
No.
any type of relationships. When they're meant to be, they're meant to be. And I think it's also a testament of when you do something that you love so much, you're passionate about it, and it's not supposed to be difficult or dramatic.
Yes. We just had fun. We had fun being friends. We had fun shooting. We got to do what we love, travel the world. We flew together so many times. We just experimented with food. And I have to tell you, you remember Asimo the robot, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
We have so many stories. We have so many stories, so you have to remind me on this one.
Okay. So Utt and I are shooting, and I have to say, I mean, not tooting our own horns, but we're really fast. Okay, we would, and you know what I loved? We would complete each other's sentences. If I was going to forget something, I would pick up the line and just slam it in there. So we would just wrap it up, man. We were just, I don't know, just insane. And I also have to tell all of you that we would shoot it in English together. Then I would jump out of the screen, and Utt would do it all over again in Thai. And he was fast. And it was like, whoa, you just did the whole script again in Thai. It was amazing. Okay, so anyway, we're in Japan. We're shooting with Asimo. He is basically the icon of Honda, right? And Utt and I are doing our thing, and it was really exciting to be on this Japanese set. They're very professional. Just so fascinated by everything. So we did our thing, and then cut to, now Asimo has to come on in the shot. So he's walking, and Utt and I see a robot. He's very cute. So both of us are like, hello, how are you? And we put on these like kind of little baby voices. And suddenly Janine comes running in, because they're all like, cut. And Janine comes up to us and she's like, guys, you can't talk to the robot like a child. And we're like, what? And they're like, they get super offended. He's like an adult, so please speak to him like you would each other. And we're like, oh my God, sorry. It was like a whole big thing. And so we had to do it again. And then you should have seen Utt and I. We were like, hello, Asimo. It's nice to meet you.
What was, well, I mean, in context, you have to take this back in the 90s where maybe in terms of like technology, the progression of robotics are not where they are now. So I think that's...
Hey, we were in the 2000s.
Oh, okay, 2000.
I drove in 2002.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I come back like earlier. So like, yeah, it was the 2000s. So robotic technology isn't as progressive as it is now. So it was quite funny how, at the time Asimo was quite rusty as well. I mean, he was really slow.
But they really wanted us to respect him, and I think they thought we were disrespecting him, but we just genuinely thought he was cute.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, Asimo.
Sorry, Asimo. We you are in our hearts because we're talking about you now. You're a part of our experience and our history together.
I love
it. My God.
So good.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Brilliant. So
yeah,
what else is happening?
Well, I just recorded and we're jumping into this. So just to like share with people who are watching, we both were VJs with MTV from 2 different countries. And I think just to put into like make it more clear to everyone out there how our friendship relationship is so special with the fact that we come from 2 different countries, and then we were brought together. So it shows how there is no barrier when it comes to languages, to cultures, when you have something that's so pure, you just connect. And that's something I
Yeah,
think it's really important just to share out there to people, because it doesn't
100%.
matter like what generation, what age, what not, because I think a lot of times moving forward, it seems like we're moving back. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
I
important.
think human connection is pretty lost at the moment. But like I said, you and I don't speak every day or every year even. We have like little bits of hey, hey, whatever, and but it never changes. And that is a pure connection, you know. I'm still cheering from you for you from here. Everything I see on your Instagram, I know that you just did a film. Did you just do a film? Is that a
Yeah.
film that I saw? Yeah. And I'm cheering for you. I'm like, yes, go up, you know, or a photo shoot or whatever. And I think sometimes the unspoken is enough because I just know in my heart that I carry such good wishes for you always.
It's both ways. I think it's what you give, what you get, what you give.
Yeah,
And it's pure, because I'm the same way too. When I see you posting anything, it's just, it feels good, and I already feel
yeah,
connected without having to get in touch
yes,
even. And it only makes me kind of step back and just feel like I need to, if we can only be physically in the same place more often. But if not, then we already feel each other. Yeah.
yes, that's true. And don't worry, I'm going to come to Thailand soon. I
Are
think
you
so.
sure? Because we're gonna create
Yes.
havoc when we're together.
Oh, and just so you know, because of you, I know how to eat on the street. Mu Ping is my jam because
All
of you.
right.
I have never forgotten it, and I will never forget it. And every time I go there, I make everyone else eat it.
All right.
So just saying Mu Ping, yes.
Yeah.
Big yes. Yes. It's so good. And I remember because you had the little bag of rice. God, I have the worst memory, but with you, I remember everything. It's like a sandwich bag and the pork on the stick, and you had the chopsticks and you were eating. I was like, what is that? And then you gave me a bite, and I was like, oh my God, okay, this is brilliant. And that was it. I'll never forgot it.
Yeah, it's good. It's like it's easy comfort food, and it gives you like energy. That's, you got the sticky
And
rice, and you got the muping, which is like basically satay. It's like Thai satay. It's really good.
over. And do you know that a couple of years ago, I was the Thailand tourism ambassador? Um, yes, the Thailand tourism ambassador. And I, did some press conferences here and in Thailand, and I did a photo shoot and a video shoot, and all of it was back to back, like you didn't sleep. And they kept asking me, like, giving me these incredible Thai cuisines from everywhere. And they said, what are you really craving? And I said, moving. And they went and got me every morning,
Muping.
massive, yeah, basket of it every morning.
Okay, so
So
Thailand next, or maybe India for me next. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna
yes,
make it
because
happen.
you've never come here.
Okay, come on, give me your finger. Come on. This way,
Way.
this way. You have to go
This way?
this way. This way. Come on. You can do it, Anusha. You can do it. Come on, bring it here. Bring it here.
I don't know
Oh
what
my
to
God.
do. Wait, it's because it's split screen. How do I? That's because I can't see it. You're going that way. You're going
Oh,
this
there you.
way.
Yeah, so you go the
Yeah,
other way. Go the other way. No, no, no.
this way.
Use the other hand. There you go.
Uh,
Okay.
I just want to say this is a split screen, guys, and his hand was going like it wasn't matching. So for me, it was just like we were touching the edges of the screen like this. Wow, it's okay.
And this is us being silly virtually. You can imagine how we are when we are physically with each other. It's just
Oh my God.
off the roofs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Do you
let's
remember?
stop.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, you go first.
No. I remember Japan. I also discovered heat pads in Japan. Do you remember those? When
Yeah.
we were freezing cold, F1, and we were like shivering, and then I love the Japanese crew, man. They brought these heat pads and like, just put it inside. Suddenly you're like got heaters in your body. I was like, wow, these guys are so much ahead of us in everything they do.
With everything they have already thought. They have already thought on behalf of everything, every minute small details. Just going into their like little shops, they have every little thing that you need for anything.
Everything. And they had GPS before we even knew what that was.
Oh yeah, you're right.
On their phones, they would like, they already had it. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember one flip phone had a Kodak roll attached to it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, what is that? And they would take pictures, take the Kodak roll off and go in from their phone.
Wow.
They were cool. They are
so many memories, and it's just mind-blowing to kind of look back at the experiences that we have. So let's talk about now. I want to talk about, I mean, like, just jumping into it, your skincare. Yeah, can you tell, only because like we're in different times, and I think being in Asia, especially my part of Asia, it's always about looking more fair. And I think times have changed. It's still like baby steps, but I definitely feel that we've made changes. I want to hear it from you. Like, because as a, entrepreneur and who owns her own skin line.
Well, thank you so much for talking about it. It's been a real battle, I'm not gonna lie. I come from a country as well. We face the same problem, obsessed with being fair, because that's the narrative that's been driven for so long, and there was in every cream, it was like, you'll become fairer and you'll get a job and you'll become Miss Universe and you'll get married because you're lighter. And that was the only narrative that was running. And it was, so basically maybe 0.5% of the 1.6 billion people we have were being spoken to in the beauty industry, and everyone else was just shunned. So like, you will amount to nothing because you have a browner, a darker tone in your brown skin. No, I don't believe that. That's ridiculous. And I grew up a brown girl in Australia. I only had a little bit of racism when I was in kindergarten. They were calling me chocolate milk, and I didn't really understand what that meant because I thought we all looked the same. So it was a bit confusing to me. But as I got here and started my career with MTV, when I got to India, I was like, oh, okay, I can relax, we're all Indian, everyone gets the dot on our head, how we eat with our hands, we don't have to explain anything. But the discrimination against one another was appalling. The ads were even worse. And I didn't understand it. And then MTV, when I started doing like India's Next Top Model and Supermodel of the Year, I just had girls crying about their traumatic experiences of going to school or college or at home getting bullied, some of them trying to kill themselves, just awful things because of their skin color. Like, how can we discriminate to such a level, and what is wrong with us, So I was like, I got to change this narrative, and I don't care what it takes, I've got to do it. So in the lockdown, when I actually had time, I guess I wanted to turn that time into a positive, where, okay, let's take it as a break, but I can build something and create something. And so I did, and I launched it in November 2020. And I can't tell you, I ran a contest when I launched it, and I said, all of you Desi girls, like that Desi means Indian, all you Indian girls, you don't need to be models, you don't need to do anything. I just want you to, if you want to enter the competition, please do, because I want faces for the brand, right? And so we got thousands of entries. I took 3 days to go through them all, and I was just howling. Because some girls were writing, I don't even care if I win. I'm just so happy that there's a contest for us. I can look in the mirror now and feel beautiful. Thank you for having a voice for us. And these were thousands, like sometimes really long messages about traumatic experiences they've had and how confident it makes them feel to just see a brand called Brownskin Beauty, because you have to understand, beautiful and brown have never been in the same sentence in our country. Never. And I think that you can associate with that too, So it's been really crazy. a journey. I honestly sometimes feel like a one-woman army trying to fight the good fight. It's really hard when something's so embedded into everybody's mind, and that just seems like the normal, but I don't want it to be normal anymore. I want us to embrace us for who we are, you know? And so it's been a journey. And like the tagline is, whatever you're brown, it's beautiful. And I mean it. I really, really, truly mean it.
Can you say that tagline once again?
Yeah. The tagline is, whatever you're brown, it's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And
that's powerful.
And I really mean that, because I think we've got to stop running away from these cookie cutter beauty standards, these narratives that drive everybody into this one little segment. And then everyone's trying to aim for that. And they're putting bleach on their face, first of all, which is so dangerous. I don't know, putting white powder on their faces. And now forget that, you know, we, like I said, and like we said, you know, that human connection is already so tough to have. Then you add COVID to it, and then we kind of got more distant and a little anxious to go outside and be around people. And then you have social media, which now helps you hide behind that also with filters, Photoshop, and anything else you can get your hands on. So you can make your skin lighter on that. So that means what? You don't want to meet anybody? You're just going to hide behind filters? Are we going to just catfish ourselves at this point? Do you remember the MTV show Catfish?
Yeah.
I'm saying they were catfishing people. I think you're going to catfish yourself, because you won't even recognize who you are anymore.
That's on so many different levels. It's like you're hiding behind your tools with all the apps and filters, and then on the other side of it, the whole body, how people are doing plastic surgery. They're that's a whole different level too, where they're beauty has become very on the surface. I think it's always been like that, but I think it's accelerated because of social media. But having said that, I think that's why people like yourself are needed, and as options for people out there to feel confident in their own skin. So kudos to you. Very proud that you've launched it. And I think you're sort of like, like you were saying, you're like a one-woman show, but I think things are changing. I mean, you have like Rihanna with her.
Yeah, Fenty. Yeah, Fenty Beauty. Amazing, incredible. She's such an iconic woman. But that's what I mean. Like, Black women have really embraced themselves. White women got to embrace themselves. And in the middle, there were brown people. And they didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
So they would like, okay, should we just be Black? Or should we just try and be white? No, how about just trying to be you? Let's just try and be us, and not hide behind and be ashamed of who we are. And so when people come to me and say, oh, but then you're causing discrimination against the fair people. No, I'm not. I'm giving a voice to brown people of all shades, because I will reiterate this as many times as I have to. Every Indian person is a shade of brown, whether it's the fairer or the darker complexions or anything in between, it's all a shade of brown. So I'm celebrating and giving a voice to all of them, right? And that's it, nothing more. It's not trying to, separate people and cause conflict. I just want everyone to be heard. Everyone should have something to relate to in the beauty industry. It's just like Barbie. She made a Black Barbie eventually, right?
Yeah.
And then now they make a brown Barbie because she was missing.
Yes.
So it's now to be inclusive in every single skin tone.
Yes.
I don't think that's wrong. I think that's bloody right. And it's about time.
Right? I agree. I think it's inclusivity, and at the same time, it's the product itself, which you would know, because you've always have been comfortable in your own skin, but then at the same time, it's what, as a woman, it's the products that you're able to use that fits you. So I think that's another level of what you're doing too.
Oh, 100%. So the products and the ingredients we're also very targeted to Indian skin because we have, like, brown skin has problems like melasma, hyperpigmentation, discoloration, all of that. So the ingredients were carefully thought of as well, because we also have sensitive skin, acne. I mean, acne is worldwide, but we tend to, because of the heat, oil, it's just a lot. So we also eat a lot of sweet dishes here, so have to
Like
keep
here.
up with all of that. But I just feel like, look, we've got great ingredients, great products. It was the name that everyone had to get their head around, brown skin beauty. And I know we were talking about plastic surgery. And look, my motto in life has always been love yourself or change till you do. And that can be internally or externally. But also don't let the social norms of what people are setting make you want to change. If you don't feel good about something and you want to go inject or plastic surgery, you want bigger boobs, I'm no one to judge you, right? If that makes you happy. But please do it for you. Don't do it because you saw it in a magazine and now that's the cookie cutter way of beauty. The same way I say, please don't bleach your face, because that's a standard society put on us. It doesn't exist anymore. Please embrace your own skin. And that's why we started, I started a hashtag called Filter Free Culture. And so everything that I shoot for BSB, no matter what, I don't wear one drop of makeup. I put on my skin products, which is like moisturizer, serum, sunscreen. I go on set and I just shoot. They can't Photoshop, they can't edit, they can't do filter, nothing. Whatever is shot is on this, is posted. And one of the photos actually got picked up and was put on a magazine cover. And that was my proudest moment, because I was filter free on a magazine cover. Yeah. So I say that I can't be hypocritical. If I'm going to say it, then I have to do it. And so I just bared my skin and I was like, let's do this. Had to stop eating sugar because I had kept breaking out. Do you remember? I used to break out all the time.
Yeah, I used to break out too, but yeah.
No, you didn't. You've always had great skin. He's lying. There was not one pimple on his face. Mine would show excessively, and also because we love junk food. That's why we got along.
We love food. We love our work, and then we love hanging out, and we love clothes.
So good, and we'd show each other our shopping afterward. Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember in Japan they were allowed to smoke in the McDonald's?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Right next to us, that guy, this is what he did. Everybody watching, burger, cigarette. He was sitting right next to us and we were like, what is happening? He did this. Why are you smoking and eating at the same time? You can't be that badly addicted. He literally ate and smoked together. It was wild.
That was wild. I grew up reading a lot of like manga, and it's like everything that I read about Japan that was like drawn in the manga books, and it's like to see it, I'm like, oh, this is exactly the same. It's just like
right.
Like, wow, like
crazy.
It was crazy.
Have you been back to Japan since then?
Yes, I have. Japan has got to be one of my favorite places to go back to, because I find it's just so unique. Maybe we have to make that happen together. Seriously. I
can't believe you went without me. I feel like a little bit heartbroken. Like you went without me?
Let's make that happen in the future together.
Yes.
I'm gonna wrap this portion of our talk together for the audience. Thank you so much for sharing everything you shared, especially about your brown skin. I think it's so important for people to know that they need to embrace who they are. And I know it's still steps, but it's steps in the right direction. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's really, really lovely to be appreciated and talked about. Look, whatever happens in the future, at least we can say, and I can say that I was a part of change and the pioneer of change in the beauty industry. And that's a proud moment for me.
Very proud of you,
Yeah.
Anusha.
Thank you.